Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov has unleashed a blistering attack on UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Western leaders, accusing them of shameful lies and propaganda. In a lengthy interview with Hungary's Ultrahang channel, Lavrov hit back at claims made in London's Coalition of the Willing summit, where Europe's top leaders and President Zelensky accused Moscow of blocking peace.
So when Starmer said that Putin is the only one who is against negotiations, he should remember about his former Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. He should remember about those in Germany and in France who signed the deal and then a few years later admitted that they never intended to do this, in spite of the fact that it had been endorsed by the Security Council.
Lavrov claimed it was London that killed peace back in 2022, when Boris Johnson allegedly told Kyiv to abandon the Istanbul talks. He accused Starmer of repeating the same deceptive script, portraying Russia as unwilling to talk while the West secretly arms Ukraine.
Volodymyr, you have said for months that you're ready for a ceasefire and you're ready to meet Putin. Yet he continues to stall and play for time. Putin is the only person who does not want to stop this war. His strikes on civilians this week made that crystal clear once again, targeting energy infrastructure ahead of winter, hitting young children in their nursery, claiming the lives in Kyiv of a 12-year girl and a 6-month-old baby. This is who Putin is.
Lavrov dismissed those remarks as astonishing propaganda, claiming Western leaders inflate civilian casualty stories and weaponize children to demonize Russia. He accused Britain of hypocrisy and said Moscow had investigated Ukrainian claims only to find them fabricated.
And then Starmer continued to say that Putin must stop atrocities, must stop killing children, and he must withdraw to the borders of 1991. On children, it's a shame. I mean, the amount of lies, the amount of propaganda is astonishing. We have been hearing that tens of thousands of children has been stolen by Russia from their parents, and after the Istanbul process started this year, there were 3 rounds. At the very first meeting, our delegation asked Ukrainians, guys, you are concerned about the kids. Can we get the list of those kids who are missing? It took some time. Eventually, we received the list of 339 names. 339. No 10,000, not even 1,000.
At the London summit, Starmer led fresh sanctions, targeting Russian oil and gas, while calling on allies to choke off the Kremlin's finances. He said the UK, US, and EU were now moving in lockstep against Russia's war machine.
First, we will act to take Russian oil and gas off the global market. Last week, the UK became the first country to sanction all of Russia's oil majors. On Wednesday, the US acted decisively to join us, together with further sanctions from the EU. And we're choking off funding for Russia's war machine.
Lavrov countered that Europe was acting out of colonial hysteria, accusing the European crowd, including Macron, Starmer, and Merz, of sabotaging US-Russia dialogue and manipulating Kyiv to keep fighting. He said Western hawks were twisting Washington's hands to block President Trump's peace framework.
And one very telling thing is they're trying to push President Trump from the logic which he repeatedly presented in the past, and I will quote a couple of his statements regarding how this crisis should be resolved. He bluntly said, actually he was the first, if not the only, leader in the West, and maybe not only in the West, but on earth, who from the very beginning, even before he was inaugurated, early September, he was still president-elect, he said that you could never have NATO involved with Ukraine.
Vow 6. Lavrov then broadened his assault, targeting the entire European bloc. He accused Brussels of obsessing over Russia's destruction, calling European leaders hypocrites for demanding peace while blocking talks. In London, meanwhile, NATO Chief Mark Rutte and Dutch PM Dick Schoof openly urged more economic and military pressure on Moscow, remarks that directly mirrored what Lavrov denounced as Europe's war fever.
In Ukraine, Putin is gaining little ground on the battlefield. And where there are marginal gains, they are coming at a huge price. Hundreds of thousands of Russians are dying for Putin's deluded aggression. Ukraine continues defending itself bravely, and our support to them is working. The truth is that Putin is running out of money, troops and ideas. President Trump said it very well. They should stop where they are now. And now is the right time to increase the pressure on Russia, so we can finally get a fair and a just peace for Ukraine.
Lavrov called such statements proof that Europe is not seeking peace, but dominance. He accused the EU of using Ukraine as a proxy and warned that Moscow would not retreat under Western pressure. For now, Lavrov's words have transformed what began as a London solidarity summit into a full-blown ideological clash. Europe's war rhetoric versus Moscow's claim of Western deceit.